Hi, so my name is Kimberly Antikire, and my action research project was based on social emotional effect on student academic achievement. The problem for my research was really focused about, how did the pandemic negatively affect students. We know that social emotional learning has really become popular within the last 3 years because of this pandemic that had us all on distance learning, and students were not having this social connection that they were very much used to. My research question was again, what are the effects of students' social and emotional well being on their academic achievement? We know that there's links between these two, but I would really like to know how deep does that connection go? And how much do students have to kind of backtrack and rebuild their social emotional skills and learning so that they can become successful in their academic achievement as well? My literature review really focused on the importance of SEL, and that was through the Castle. I found a lot of really great resources that were really, if you see here, 2022, 2021, they were really recent because SEL is so important. And, a lot of people are starting to research it now. I found a couple that were a little bit older, like 2012 or 2009, but really 2021, 2020, and 2022 was really where I found a lot of my resources. Um, again, a lot of researchers are just focusing on how does parent involvement, affect SEL and academic achievement. How do students progress now as they're kind of just learning how to school again? Incorporating SEL lessons. How can we implement these into our curriculum so that students are kind of getting something either each day or each week, and it has to be school wide so students can feel like they're getting SEL in every aspect within their academic, their education that they're experiencing. And then the longevity as well was super important. There was one that talked about for community college students and the importance of SEL or even just the regular social emotional learning, even before COVID, and how much that impacted the graduation rates for students who had low performance within the SEL skills. My methodology for this year-long action research, kind of just a mixed method, take some information from not only the parent, student, but also the teachers and the staff that are going to be on campus interacting with the students as well. I would really like to get kind of a baseline, right? We have to have the present levels for students and where they're going to begin so that we can see the progress throughout. So, just kind of getting that baseline data from parents, from students, from staff. How are students performing not only academically with their previous grades, but how do they feel that they are performing within their social emotional skills as well? The sample for that would be randomly selected students, 40 students to participate in the study with parent permission. I really wanted this because I didn't want to just focus on my special education students, but this also will affect general education students as well. So I wanted to be able to just get something completely random, kind of just across the board for middle school students ages 11 to 14. Um, for this one, for the materials, have parents and students and staff fill out different surveys, Likert scales, and forms just to see, again, kind of a baseline of where they're at. And then at the very end, or throughout, I would be taking the academic grades, right? Either through progress 1, 2, 3, and 4, or quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. semesters as well, and just kind of being able to analyze that data at the very end. Well, is there a trend here? You know, were they low for SEL and then they were high in academics from the very beginning? Where were they? How did they end? Um, One thing that I would really like to get out of this is I sit on the SEL committee for my school district. We only have about 26 schools, but I would love to be able to present this to them and show them, you know, this is what helps. This is where our students are at now, and how can we meet them where they are at, to help them be successful, to help them with the longevity of their um, higher education and or careers. I For some reason, SEL has always been really stuck in my mind, from the very beginning, from EDUU 600, and I knew that I always wanted to continue on with it. Um, but in 2019, there really wasn't a lot of research done, and now there are tons of research being completed. So I love to be able to see that, but I think it's extremely important that we start to incorporate SEL lessons into our curriculum and make sure that these are some basic needs that students have to be met, for them to be successful.